Good morning. Welcome to our coffee and chat for the week. And as you see, today I'm going to tell you 3 tips that can save you time and increase your productivity. Now, these are all accounting related. They're all really come down to your systems, systematizing some of your processes so you have time to really work and focus on your mission, making an impact in the world. The first one, and this is easily overlooked by many nonprofits in that they may not have a dedicated bookkeeper or accountant that works in their organization. So it may be the executive director or even the development or program director that is helping to make sure that every month the accounting is up to date. Whatever it looks like for your organization, the first accounting tip to help you is to have your month-end checklist. And what I mean by that is you have a consistent process every month that you go through one by one so that when it's time to issue your financial reports to the board, you know that you've had a very effective and consistent system. This can save time. It can save you from being reactive in that perhaps one month you remember, okay, I'm going to record all of the pledges that we have received but haven't been paid. Say you had 10 community members that said, oh, I'll pledge $25 a month. Well, you're putting that in your accounting software one month, and then perhaps the next month you forget. Well, if you've got your month-end checklist, you want to make sure that all pledges are recorded and that they're tracked. You want to make sure your bank reconciliations are done properly. You want to make sure that all of the invoices for your vendors are recorded, even if they're not paid that month. These are simple things on your month-end checklist to make sure at the end of the month you have accurate reports that you're setting before your board. Okay, and you don't have to come back, a month later and say, oh, we forgot to pay the $5,000 for catering for the big event we had 2 months ago. You want to make sure one by one you can go through that checklist. So that system of a month-end checklist is huge. That's the first one. I do want to say a little more about that really quickly. And this is for those of you who may have a month-end checklist, but you still need to save time in your process. When it comes to your in-kind donations or looking at your payroll and allocating those amongst programs, that may not be something you want to track every single month. It may be more beneficial to consider a quarterly detail, because I have been in organizations, working with organizations where it is a little time consuming when you've got 4 or 5 employees and you have to take time to allocate to each program for each payroll. So that could be part of your process as a quarterly close. But for a month-end close, you've got to have your basics. Like I said, outstanding pledges, bills due, and all of your reconciliations are just basic. You can also have your journal entries and other things that make sense for your organization. Okay, so that's my first tip. The second tip are your bills, and I kind of touched on that for a little bit. When it comes to your bills, whatever system works for you, but essentially you'll have your bills accumulated, and then at the end of every month you want to make sure that they're all recorded. Now, when it comes to paying your bills, this is something you don't have to be in reactive mode about. You can actually set a system. Maybe it's once a week, every Thursday, once every other week, every Tuesday, every second Tuesday, whatever makes sense. That saves so much time, because when people are, hey, I need this to be paid or this to be paid. Okay, our payable schedule is the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. We'll put it in the system then and make sure it's paid, rather than just randomly hurrying up and paying bills as they come in. So you can accumulate all of the bills due once a week or every 2 weeks. You make sure you get them in the system and you pay them. So that will absolutely save time, and it'll help with your productivity. So we've got the month-end checklist, we've got your bill pay system, and then lastly, donations. Thankfully, a lot of donors will pay directly online, very easily put in their credit card information. But your organization may also receive mailed checks. And this is, of course, going to vary from each different organization. But if you receive donations in the mail, I'm curious, do you currently, hurry up, rush out, put it in the system, and go to the bank? Or do you have a different way of managing your donations? Because I would like to propose, first of all, I've heard this phrase in the nonprofit world, thank before bank. So don't rush out just because you got $1,000 donation in a check. You want to have a system to thank them, whether it's a call, preferably a call or a written letter, but some people may do an email, text, whatever works for you and that donor. At the end of the day, your donations, at least I'd say once a week, every Friday, we're going to have a system where we make our bank deposit, or every other Friday, whatever makes sense for you. But it doesn't have to be as soon as the check hits, you're rushing off to the bank. Okay, so just consider that. Now, I will say a caveat to that is if you have a big grant that came in and it is affecting your ability to start a program, then that may be an exception, that you have an internal process or policy about any checks over $10,000, may not have to wait until our deposit day or whatever that looks like. But ultimately, by systematizing when you make your bank deposits, when you pay your bills, how your month-end checklist looks, it not only saves you time every month, it makes you more productive, as well as your records that go before the board and that are recorded every month. Your financial statements will be more accurate if you're doing these consistent processes every month. So based on that, that's our coffee and chat for the day. I hope you found value in the 3 accounting tips to save time and increase your productivity. It's all about your systems: month-end checklist, bill pay schedule, and again, bank deposits, scheduling them out. All right, cheers to that. Have a beautiful day. I'm just enjoying, it's a gorgeous day out here in Nashville. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Happy accounting.